Hey, Steve Stine here, and I get a lot of questions about EMG pickups, when I started using them, why I use them, that sort of thing. So I thought I would just tell you really quick. I mean, when I started playing, it was 1983, and I owned like a Hondo, if you remember those. I owned a Harmony, just old guitars. And when I graduated, and I don't remember if I bought it in 1987 or 1988, but I bought an Ibanez Gem. They had first come out, and a buddy of mine and I both went out and bought Ibanez Gems, and we were going to take over the world and whatever. So that's what I was using, and I had the stock pickups, of course, from the Ibanez Gem. And a buddy of mine, when I went to college, a buddy of mine was using EMGs. And that's when I learned about the 81, and then later I learned about the 89. But it was probably around 90, 91, something like that, when I started using EMG pickups. And my pickups of choice have always been either the 80, well, it'll be the 81 in the bridge position, and then either the 85 or the 89 in the neck position. Now, the 89, as I understand it, is really just an 85 that splits to a single coil. But I've always sworn that the 89 still sounds a little bit different, so I prefer the 89 if it's available, and I have it in most of my guitars. So that's what I use, and then the center pickup, the single coil, is an SA. So that's what I use for my configuration, and even to this day, I still use those. I've got a number of different sets in different guitars, you know, like the 5766 and things like that, which I really enjoy, but push comes to shove. If I'm going in the studio or playing live, I would rather have the 81 and the 89 because it's just comfortable for me. And then the other thing that I use, just so you know, is what's called an SPC control. Now, the SPC control, I replace all my tone controls with an SPC control, and what it does is it kind of gives like a gain boost. And the reason I do that is not necessarily because I need more gain with the EMGs, but sometimes you find yourself in a situation in the studio or maybe live or something where you're playing through somebody else's rig or an amp that just isn't giving you quite enough of what you need for a particular part of a solo or something like that. I can just turn that up. I can just rotate the SPC control in the old tone control space, and it gives me a little bit more of that comfort zone, if you will. And that's what I use. So I just thought I'd let you know what I'm using, and that they work awesome for me.